Hello everyone, this is Jaya for the session of digitalization. Today we are going to explain about the digitalization and the importance and the advantages in the session which helps in our business growth. So in our first slide which comes around with the scenario which comprises of two friends, that is Bob and David. So Bob is working in a traditional way and David is working in a digitalized way. So Bob is earning less, whereas David is earning more than Bob. So why the question comes why the Bob is earning less? Because he's using the traditional work, he's doing more paperwork, he's doing more physical things. But whereas in David, he's doing all the paperwork in digitalization way, whether it is a booking of a ticket, booking of a hotel, or uh, he's taking all the confirmations on the mail, or if he has to give any information to the customers, he's doing in that particular manner because it is in a because both of them are in a tourism business, tours and travels business. So here the situation is that he is when he is doing all these things, David is doing the digitalization where so the consumption of time is very less, and there the risk of the errors is very less, so his work is getting appreciated. Elsewhere he's getting more paid, whereas Bob has to do a lot of physical paperwork. He has to see the things in a physical mode of things, but he can't earn that much money because he has the risk of losing the document, he has the risk of doing the errors in his documents. So there are multiple of things which is not good for Bob in a traditional way, but in a digitalized way David is doing good. Why? Protecting all the things online. So, what is the difference between the traditional and digitalization way? So, in traditional way, we get more manpower is used, more time consumption is there, very high costing is there, processing is very slow, and whereas the errors of risk of errors is very high. Whereas in a digital method, we get less manpower is involved, less time consumption is there, very low costing, very fast processing of the documents, and plus more accuracy. So here the things get more proper when we do in a digitalized way, whether it is a document, whether we are taking any approvals for that particular things. So these are all online platform and it becomes easy to search everything. You don't have to go in a physical mode and find out the document or correcting the errors. If you have any errors or if you have anything in the documents, you can just correct it online. It is very less time consuming. So digital method also helps in a business growth in this way because if everything is an online platform, the customer will nowadays see online sites, online websites, then the payment section is online. So people will be it will be helpful for the consumers to get through it and their life will be more easy, whether he or she is buying purchasing any product or he or she is doing a payment transaction or he is doing any banking transaction. So digitalization method always helps in a business growth also, where if the consumer is having any query or any complaint that can be uh, resolved by online, he can do a live chat, he can do a phone call, or if there is a means there is a mail option or if there is a chat option, the consumer's query can be resolved very easily. Whereas in traditional method, this is a very tough method because uh, the person is not at that moment or he is not available into that particular area or he doesn't have those documents with him. So these things come in a hardest way, and the consumer will not be happy if his complaint is not being resolved or his issue is not being listened. So in digital method, it is more important in a business life because if we have the consumers, we can grow our business very fast. Third comes what is digitalization. So digitalization comprises of four areas where it comprises of technology, data, processing, and organizational change. So if we go for a digitalization method, so we can have what all the data the consumer require, we can have that in an online platform, we can acquire it, we can go to a different website, search for different things, or a particular topic or a particular product or anything we wish to know about it. Then there is a technology part is also there when we go for a purchasing of a product, or if you're going for a movie theater for booking the tickets online. So these things come in a technology way, but you can also in a digitalization way, you can also compare the deals, you can compare the prices, you can take the feedback of that particular product. So I also do the same thing because whenever I purchase any product online, so I always compare different sites, different deals. So what um, I get a very good deal in purchasing that particular product, I will go for it. And if I have some issues or I have some problem with that product, so I can speak directly to the representative of that particular brand or a company so that we can get that resolution for our query. So this is my part because I always compare many website for each and every particular product, or if I am booking or any tickets from anywhere, so I'll just compare those deals, compare those prices, because nowadays this is much more convenient for the consumers to get through it. Nobody can go through physical round and go each and every hall and see which theater is good or which ambience is good. We can take up the feedback, we can take up the rating, we can take up the experience of the other consumers who have used that particular app or that particular product. So this is how the digitalization plays a vital role in growing our business. Uh, Because nowadays every business, every small or a big business are online, and that becomes easy to grab the customers. It can help to retain the customers also. So this point where digitalization nowadays is a vital key ingredient in the business growth. And if we want to acquire in the digitalization, if we want to acquire a data of a particular topic, or if we want a article to be read, even we can read books online, we can read the newspapers online. So we don't require that physical paper with us. We can do it online. We can if we are going on a vacation or if we are traveling, we can just carry our online Kindle. There is a book online. We can do that also. So this way, the digitalization has played a very good role where you can the business can be grow by the consumer, because the consumer will always look in an online platform where the person is not having time, and he or she can look over the online platform and take up whatever the purchaser of the product or anything. So this is how digitalization is very important. So the next slide comprises of what is the importance of digitalization in the business life. So in a business life, the digitalization plays a vital role where if he is if it is an online platform, he has all the records, he has all the data, he has all the processing method, he has all the tools. He can use it online whenever it is required, or if they want to make a report for that particular product, what are the feedbacks, anything, we can do it online records. But as we see in a traditional way, we can't do that. We can't do that in a physical form because we have to collect the n number of entire data to get a full report. But in a digitalization part or in a business life, it becomes really easy if the any documents is means it has been corrupted or anything, we can try to resolve it. We can try to get the things done online. We can protect our files. We can even retrieve the documents if it is lost online. So these are the steps where it is very important in a business when we are doing business online platform. These things are really become easy. If a customer asks any query about your product or something, so you can just see it in your data, in your online reports. You can give the answers to that consumer very easily. You can chat with them. So it becomes easy to retain the customer, and after that, the customer can bring other customers for your platform if we give a good service, online service to the consumer, if we try to solve their queries as soon as possible. Whereas in a traditional way, we don't have these easy things to do because it's really difficult if you are working on a paperwork. It's a lot of paperwork you're keeping on the desk, and some or the other way the documents are lost. Any document, any passport, anything, it has been lost if it is kept in a physical form. But whereas in a digitalized way, nowadays, if you go to an airport also, so you don't have to carry that in a physical form, the boarding pass or a ticket, you can carry it on phone. So this is what the digitalization is, which plays a very vital role in a business growth also. So these things comprises of the importance, whereas it gives the advantages why digitalization is important in a today's life, whether you are doing in a domestic life or in a business life. In domestic also, even I, if I take my example, so I always do the payments online, so it becomes easier. Nobody keeps a hard cash with them. Nobody have that much of amount what he or she has purchased. Even I don't keep it, so I don't keep the change also. So for me, that online payment part is more convenient for me. It will convenient for you also because you always don't carry that much of thing. So you either you carry the card or you carry the wallet. So it becomes easier for the purchasing or whatever you require. So that's why digitalization played a very good role in a domestic as well as in the business life. Second thing is when you are doing in a business, it helps how it helps like in automation while doing an operational thing. If you're doing in a business platform, so the automation plays a very vital role in the growth of business. So when these things are there, so the operational cost are reduced. If the automation is done, the manpower is less. You can, it's a less time consumption and you can take the things very easily, very conveniently. It gets done in your time. You don't have to wait for that paper should come to you, then you draft it and then you give it to the other person. But here you can do it online, you can get through email, you can get through the thing. And you, nowadays there are certain apps like WhatsApp. You can just put the message on the WhatsApp. You can attach that particular document. It comes instantly to you instead of waiting for a physical doc. So this is how it plays a very vital role in a business as well as in the domestic. For me, it's good because nowadays I use all the digital method, whether it is a payment, whether it is a online transaction, or it is a banking, or it is anything. So digitalization, it becomes easier and secure as well. Social media, the thing is importance, one more importance of this digitalization, I can say, that is social media, where if you're doing any small or a big business, I'm not saying that the business should be a good, but if it is a small business also, we can put it on social media. Nowadays, social media is much more important rather than anything else. So if you go to any Facebook or Instagram or anywhere, if you can just put that video or you can put some details of your business, so it gets the attention of the consumers because many people are using that social media, and there they can connect with you. And if the people, the existing consumer which you have, you can retain that also in online platform if you give them the good online services to them, helping their queries, helping with their complaints. If you're getting that good service, that becomes easier for the consumer to come back again and do the repeat purchases in your platform. So it's good in retaining the customers also. If it plays a vital role like uh, less time consumption, less of errors, less manpower. So this is also a main part for the business, that you can retain the customers while giving them the online service, whether it is on chat or whether it is in on a call or anything. So it becomes easier for the consumer to understand that if I am taking or purchasing any particular product and he's helping me into it, so that's good for us. Even I think the same, because whenever I get of the damaged product and if I speak to them or chat to them, I can get that resolution very fast. But if you go for a traditional way, will you get that result? No, I don't think so. You will get that result because either the item is not available or the person is not available. You get all these things, these excuses you will get. But in online, you won't get those excuses. You can get those things done on that particular time, day. So that is why I would call digitalization is very important in a business life. In anything, digitalization is playing a good role where you can just make the things in time rather than waiting for the documents to do, or whether you're waiting in a traditional way that this process or this data will be done. But in digitalized, you are getting all the process, you're getting the technology, you're getting the data, and that becomes easier for you to collaborate anything. You get a full report on the data which you required, or you required any article which is for the interesting to read. You can just check out an online website and you get those things there. Now, the second slide comprise of the examples of digitalization. So the examples I can nowadays, if I can say, there are digital signatures. When you earlier the days when you fill a form for like buying a policy, or uh, you are taking a credit card or a thing. So there is a form comes, a person also comes and he takes a signature, takes the documents. So this is a traditional way where the person comes and then he takes the documents. It takes other 5 to 10 days to process it. But where in digitalization way, he gives the form instantly, you fill the form, you give the digital signature, and the form with the documents is get processed. So it is not taking that much time where it was taking like 15 to 20 days to process your service. So this is how a digitalization plays a role. Even a photograph, a simple photograph, if you scan it online and if you want somewhere to fix it on a form or somewhere, you can just give that photograph or you fix it on the form. So this is how digitalization is very important these days. You don't have to go anywhere, that you have to just go to the office and submit those documents. You can do it instantly instead of waiting in a traditional way. So for me, it is very good. And for the business prospect, I think that is the most important thing. Earlier, I have made you understand what are the advantages of digitalization. Like this is a time saving, cost saving, even accuracy is there, easy distribution if you have to send a messages, email messages or information to the 5 people, you can do it through an email, or you can make a group and give it online and the information is circulated. But in traditional way, you can't do it. The documents are very secured on an online platform and it increase the profit, which I told about how to retain the customer if you're giving a good services to them. This is how it works. And so these things are the key points for the digitalization, because these key points keep your business grow. Plus, it retain your customers as well, so that the person should come back for their repeat purchaser, and they can even recommend your online platform to the other people that they have got a very good service from your platform. So you can also use for your product purchases. So last we are concluding with a case study. Earlier we have discussed about what is digitalization, what is the importance, what are the advantages, and plus the example of the digitalization. So here I'm representing the UX Living Lab. So our company has several products, but while availing this product or the services, there is a simple QR code. So in QR code is now become very important whenever you go to a POS machine, or if you go to a bank, you can scan the QR code because it's a unique identification of a number. It becomes really easy. You don't have to stand in a queue. You just this give the QR code and you get the things done for your service. So here for our company, the QR code is really important. After registering with our team, with our um, a website, you get your QR code created, and after that, you can avail what the services you required, or if you want an information for the particular product or the pricing, you can do that with that one simple QR code. You don't have to wait for somebody to call you. You can just do it online, and we would be very happy to help you with your complaints, with your queries, with your issues, if we can anyway help you out in this manner. So for us, the QR code is very important. So I'm showing you one simple case study. Now, the case study is about the QR code, and this is a new thing which I have seen. S- While scanning the QR code, we have a product. See, this is I'm taking a random product. So where when we scan this QR code, we get something a page called even you can scan this QR code through this digital queue. That would be easy for you. You can install it for our company and you can get registered for it. So as soon as you get when s- as soon as you scan this QR code, every if I say in every shop, if you go there, and if I give you an example of a watches. There are malls, and every watches have a different bands. And there is a QR code you can scan. If you have noticed that, as soon as you just scan that QR code, this type of a picture will come, or you can receive a message on your WhatsApp. You get a link. When you click that link, it comes like this way, the discount offer which comes to you, and you can just clear that discount order in the billing counter so that it gets your reduction of that particular product, the money for that. So this is how actually QR code works. You don't have some people buy it in a way that okay, this product is good, I'll take it. Some people looks out for a QR code. This is unique because if you scan it, you get different offers, you get different services, you get to know how to go through that particular brand or a company. So it is very useful, and for us it's very useful. So this is a part where I'm showing, if you scan that particular QR code, you'll get this type of a link. And if you want a service or anything, that will be more easier. So you need not to wait for somebody to call. You can arrange that meeting for the same. So QR code plays a very vital role while scanning for a particular product. You can nowadays everyone who's going for a shopping, every product has a QR code, and you can just scan it and you can get a good offers. So in our company, which is the most important thing is the QR code, which works on it, which we work on it, which is very nicely done, and we can help you to get these things done for you. If you want any service or any feedback or any product information, we can give through this QR code. So this is the most important thing. Secondly, if you want to have a meeting with us, you can go for like this calendar which I'm showing. You can pick up some date. You can pick up whatever the time you require. There would be a mail which would be going, and we can discuss about whatever you require, whatever your issues are there. If there is feedback with a product or a product information, you can go through it, and there will be a Zoom call where we can take up all your issue. You don't have to wait for anything in our company. So this is how UX Living Lab does the work. Here, only just scanning the product, you'll get the things done at your site. So I'll be sharing this link with you for a QR code for your installation, plus the calendar where you can pick up the date and the time whenever you are free, and we can take up the call and we'll speak to you, discuss with you whatever the information you require. But I would suggest you should visit to us. You should our company look out for the products, for the reports. They do the customer feedback analysis where we can and try to give you a good qualitative quantitative report about your brand or about your company or about your product, which will be really helpful for your business growth. So I suppose you should visit once to this website, that is uxlivinglab.com, where you can get all the information which you required. So I hope you liked the session for today. And if you do like, please give us a comment or just let me know if you have anything to discuss. Just ping me on the message box for us. Thank you for joining us.